Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hypersensitivity. I was an overgiver completely.
Yeah.
I was so codependent in my life that in the past I was saying yes to everybody, saying yes to everything. I was afraid of being abandoned. I was giving my value. I was filling other people's cup. I was thirsty for love. And I had no idea that I was searching for something on the exterior that I would never, ever find.
If someone break their arm, I get pain in that arm. And if someone kick you in the beep, then I get pain even I don't have the the beep.
I was giving my value. I was filling other people's cup. But I had no idea that they're the ones that were going in the wrong direction.
It's like you're taking on others' pain and stuff.
I didn't know I had the value. And here I was following people with no value. We have to learn to be able to set boundaries, to be able to say no and walk away, to be able to know that we can't save everybody. Can't save everybody. The answer is for us to fill our cup and then go out. They say on the airplane, put on the mask on yourself first before you help your child. We have hypersensitivity, which leads us to empathy, which leads us to take action. My suggestion for you is that you say, all right, guys, I'm so excited to be here with a very special person that I've met here in Bogota. And I was experiencing, the other day I left my apartment, and I'll explain a little bit further with my new friend Anita on how we met. But today's special podcast, we're going to be talking about hypersensitivity. There's a few people in the world that are experiencing hypersensitivity. Not sure the exact percentage, but I know there are a lot of people, including me, including my guest. And hypersensitivity is not talked about enough. In fact, there's a lot of people with hypersensitivity that don't understand what is happening in their life because they feel like they're the odd person out. They feel like they're feeling so many feelings that they feel like everybody else is feeling. But truly, hypersensitivity is something that a few of us experience in the world. And today, my experience is that I'm talking to a person, and I'm about to introduce you to a person that experiences a lot of these emotions. But not only that, the people with hypersensitivity are a gift to the world. And people that have hypersensitivity don't realize the empathy and the gift that they give other people. But in fact, there's always pros and cons to everything that we have in our life. It's a double-edged sword sometimes to have hypersensitivity. And that's why we really need to focus on working and honing in on becoming the better versions of ourselves. Because just because we have a gift in our life, it doesn't mean there's not going to be pros and cons to it. So today, I want to introduce you to a really amazing guest. Her name is Anita. She is from Norway. And I introduce you to her right now.
Hello.
Anita.
Hi.
So nice to sit here with you.
Yes, thank you for letting me come here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to excuse my English if I talk a little bit wrong. I'm sorry for that, but
well, your
I will
English
try
is good.
as good as I can. Yeah, thank you.
Your English is very good, so we don't have to worry about that.
Mm.
So, the first thing I want to ask you is, where are you from?
I'm from Norway, Norge.
Okay.
Norway, yeah.
Which part of Norway?
I'm from the north, up in the North Tromsø, and it's where it's most northern lights, and it's the midnight sun.
The Northern Lights. I've seen the Northern Lights in Iceland.
Yeah,
those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Northern Lights in Norway?
All
the time, right?
I've seen it since I was born. So for me, it's like normal.
Nice.
But I can look at the tourists from Japan and China, and when they are like screaming out loud when the Northern Light is moving, then I understand how amazing it is for other people.
That's amazing.
That haven't seen it before.
What is the feeling that you get when you watch the Northern Lights?
It's magic. It's like it's always shifting. It's moving. It's different colors, and you just get like hypnotized. You just look at it. I don't know. It's like. But I'm used to it. I was a little girl and I played outside, and I always saw it. So for me, it was just normal normal night. Yeah.
Nice. So my second question is,
Mm.
how did we meet? I want you to express that a little bit.
No, I just wanted that taco.
Yeah, no, well, so I was walking out of my apartment building,
Yeah.
and
I
then
thought you looked like European. You have
oh,
like
really?
yeah, you have you don't have this typical Colombian look. So I just thought maybe he speak English. Maybe
Maybe.
if I'm
And
lucky.
it was like a movie for me. So I was like, no, seriously, the weather was like just at that movie weather, you know? The
Yeah.
sun was out, it was very beautiful. So
Yeah.
I was walking out with from my apartment with my cap, my baseball
Yeah.
cap, and
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good actually about life. I was just about to go to lunch myself, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
from the corner of my eye, this lady walks by, and I also was thinking to myself, is this lady Colombian? She doesn't look Colombian. And then you kind of contacted me with your eye and gave me this like kind of like, you know, and then you turned around and was like, "Hey, are you speak English?" And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Yes, I do." And you're like, "I'm looking for a taco place. Can you help me?" I was like, "Sure." I think on Google Maps. So we sorted through like the different businesses on Google, and you were like, "It's that photo. It's I have a photo of it, but I can't find
I
it."
had a photo on Snap I took
You
when I
had a
was
photo.
there. I just needed that taco so
Right.
bad because it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
and
we found the
I just
place.
contacted a strange man, and
Sure.
yeah, so
And
that's how good that taco was.
and what was cool about that moment was, like, you were like, "Well, what? Just come with me, let's have lunch together," you know?
Yeah,
I was like, "Sure,
yeah,
I have nothing to do, so why don't we grab
yeah.
lunch?" So it was actually a really nice, experience.
Mm,
Rarely I'm the one actually reaching out to people, so
mm,
it's very rare that, somebody actually reached out to me,
yeah,
and I thought that it was like, it was God's providence,
meant to be,
and it
meant to
was
be.
like the law of attraction pushing somebody very positive
Yeah,
towards me. So that
yeah,
was very nice. It was
yeah.
very nice.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
What led you to come to Bogota?
it was two purposes about it.
Hmm.
I have a friend, Norwegian friend, that I care a lot about, and he is in prison, innocent in a case, and he don't have any visitors. So I wanted to visit him, and I wanted to go to vacation to Bogota and Colombia because now I've been in several cities. So yeah, so I visit my friend, and he's okay, but of course he's in prison, so it's hard to be in prison,
Yeah.
of course. But he will be out in a few weeks probably because this is a case he's not involved in. He's an innocent person.
Wow.
So I'm so happy for him, and it's so good to visit and just show them that you care, and we also are planning now that I can go and sing my songs in prison here in La Picota prison
Wow.
for free, just for the charity, like it's not a charity, but I don't know what it's called in. But for just doing something for them, give them
Wow.
this experience.
Okay. I find it very fascinating that you flew from Norway to
Yeah.
come to Bogota,
Mm.
partially for vacation, but
Yeah.
also partially to visit your friend in prison.
Yes.
You also mentioned something about doing a fundraiser or something like being of service by singing to
Yes.
the prison.
Yeah.
Do you know if they had any of those experiences before, or are you the first one?
No, I think they have some organization that I don't remember the name, but they have someone. You know, when you're coming out from the prison, some organization helping in
Mm,
a way, but I cannot.
that's amazing. So the one thing, so
Yeah,
when by the way, I was very surprised to hear that you're coming here to visit your friend in prison.
yeah,
Normally, I meet a lot of people,
yeah,
and those people are coming here for one purpose:
yeah,
to travel,
yeah.
to experience Colombia.
Hmm.
And then here you are, a person from Norway flying to
Mm.
Colombia with the purpose of being of service because we were talking about hypersensitivity. I
Yes,
think people that are hypersensitive a lot of the times think more of other people than they think of themselves. Is that something that you
that
find
is
true?
absolutely true. I always think of all other people than myself, everybody else.
Why do you think that is?
I'm just a care person, and I just think that it's the that gives my life the values that give my life meaning. So I just take care of everybody, and I'm a giver, and of course I get very exhausted. So when I told my family I was going on vacation to Colombia, they said yes, like finally she will do something
Mm.
for herself. But I didn't tell them about the prison that I was actually meeting his mom, taking a lot of stuff to him in prison
That's
in
one thing I
Norway.
didn't know.
No, because
You didn't
he
tell me
needed
that
some
before.
clothes and stuff. You know, I needed just to help him with that. So I
Interesting.
didn't tell them that
Right.
because then they would worry about me. So
Right.
I just, I
So
just,
you left some of the details out.
yeah.
His mom is in Norway, and she asked
Yes.
you to bring those
No, I
clothes?
met her and I took yes,
Okay. So
yes.
you talked about you're an overgiver.
I
That
am. I
you
am.
lead your life with being of service because you feel like that's what gives you purpose and meaning.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is it possible for you to do things for yourself and to do things
No.
for others? What do you think led to you feeling and thinking to overgiving and filling other people's cup, but then leaving your cup empty? Where do you think that comes from?
That must be from when I was from my uprising. I think it was something about yeah. It's wow. It's a lot of things maybe leading to
Mm.
my person today. But I think that oh my god, this is very difficult to
It
answer.
it's
Actually,
it's
it's
difficult to
very
answer,
difficult.
or
Yes.
you prefer not to be
I
vulnerable
prefer
in that
not
sense.
to. I prefer not to involve other
I
people's
understand.
and
Now, I want to remind you, you don't
yeah,
have to use names. You don't
no,
have to
but
use names, and you don't have to share anything that you feel like is
mm,
not comfortable to you.
mm,
The reason why I asked that question is
mm,
because I look at my own life. I was an overgiver
yeah,
completely.
yeah,
I was so codependent in my life that in the past I was saying yes to everybody, saying yes to everything
yeah,
because I was afraid truly of abandonment. I was afraid of being
yes,
abandoned. And the reason why I was a yes man the majority of my life, obviously I'm at the stage now where I've built this kind of growth coaching brand and I'm helping myself and I'm helping other people.
yeah,
But the reason why in the past is because it all led to my childhood, and I
yeah,
had caretakers that didn't really meet me where I needed to be as a child. And as a kid, I was always wondering and thirsty
yeah,
for love.
yeah,
I was thirsty for love. So I was searching throughout my whole life, in my childhood years and my teenage years. And I was always numbing myself with certain behaviors in my
yeah,
life because I was avoiding and running away from the true issue, which was what's happening in here. I was filling myself with so many things, so many toxic relationships
yeah.
that
Check.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I had no idea that I was searching for something on the exterior that I would never ever find. I mean, the world was offering me things that I thought could fix me and heal me. I mean, we talked about your experience in Norway. Tell me about your friendships in Norway and
mm.
those friends that you were surrounding yourself with, and tell me about that experience.
Well, I don't surrender myself with so many people. I only have few people now in my
Mm.
life. That is because I had just oh, what's it called? I was just mm, uh, at one point thinking I'm not materialistic. I don't like shopping. I don't like this quacking, this gossiping, or and this people measuring about status and how rich are you, where do you live, who do you know, what have you done, what job do you have, like that. I'm not like that. I'm just a sailor's daughter. I was raised with a lot of men in my family. They were sailors. And when I was little, I didn't have much toys. I had a just doll and a wagon for the doll. And I was just surrounded by so many men that these blah blah speaking and this yabbling from women. I didn't learn that. I didn't learn that, and that's why I'm 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 like a man. No, I'm like a boy. I'm more in the way of behaving. Of course, I'm like normal, but so I was, yeah, and then I was older, and I started many shops. I've had some businesses, and I had a lot of friends, and I loved them, of course, but we were different, and
Mm. Different in what way?
I was not fitting in. I am not
In what
this
way?
normal, ordinary woman. I am not. I just find that out after many
Mm.
years.
Can you give me an example as to why
No,
you were
to
not fitting in?
everything, to everything.
The status,
Yeah, everything,
the
everything.
they were materialistic.
I don't want to yeah, but they were normal women.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, but
Right,
I am not
but
normal woman.
behind the mask there was something, you know, because
No,
I yeah.
I'm just not. I am living now in an island. It's
Mm,
not people there. It's a ferry to come to that island, and I live there with a cat and with birds,
that's
and I
beautiful.
just enjoy life by having peace.
I sense your peace.
Yeah.
The one thing that you talked about with being surrounding yourself around people that wear a mask,
Mm.
okay, is very tricky because what happens is that when I have a group of people in my life and I think that there's something wrong with me, you said that. You said I didn't fit in.
Yeah.
The thing is that the one thing that I want to express is that sometimes we think we're not the normal ones and they're the normal ones.
Yeah.
But actually, it's true in a sense that they're normal and we're not in a bad way, right?
I think the focus should be on other things than the materialistic
Right.
things, the clothes, the status, the work, the money, the people you know. I think it should be on just being like me, just like
Mm,
a care person. But then it's exhausting too. So I don't know if I take it back because you
mm.
get exhausted by him.
So I could relate to you because I've had many
Yeah,
friends in my life that I surrounded myself with, and I was also hypersensitive. I was
yeah,
overgiving. I
yeah,
was giving my value. I was filling other people's cup, but I had no idea that they're the ones that were going in the wrong direction. And
yeah.
I was following
Yes,
other people that were
yes.
leading me astray from my
You were
path
just
and my
making
true
them more
purpose.
going
Right.
more the wrong way.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lead.
like I didn't know I had the value.
No.
And here I was following people with no value.
Yeah,
Isn't that interesting?
yeah.
But
But
we're
that's what we
blind. But
learned.
we're blind to
We
that.
have learned that from we were little, and that is not the way
Mm,
I mean to live life.
right. But it also doesn't help that when we're hypersensitive, it's really hard for us to discern and to critically think, okay, these people are not good for me. So, how do we get to a point where when people show us who they are the first time,
Yeah.
that we should believe them? Have you had that experience?
Um, First of all, I want to just say something about the subject of hypersensitivity. We have a princess, former princess in Norway, Martha Louise, and she was in an interview in like Sweden. She told about her hypersensitivity, and she said that 20% or something habits, and she explained how it was, how she felt, how it is to be hypersensitive. And then I got this experience, and I was like, wow, that's me. That's me. I'm like that. I'm totally like that. If someone hurt their arm, if someone break their arm, I get pain in that arm. And if someone kick you in the beep, then I get pain even I don't have the the beep. You understand?
Mm.
It's like you're taking on others' pain and stuff. It's like it's
I could.
weird.
It was really hard for me to watch movies, especially people that were in pain, people that got shot, people
Ooh,
that were abandoned.
yeah.
I truly felt like I was the person experiencing it, and
Yes.
I think that's what people with that's what people with hypersensitivity experience
Yes.
is they empathize so much
Mm,
and they sympathize so much
yeah.
that they can't take the pain, and that's why a lot of the times I cover my eyes in movies
Yeah.
because I can't bear to feel the feelings that originally other people are experiencing.
No. And it's not like we're not stupid, not
Mm,
intelligent, because we know that it's a movie, but still, it's something like it's something that I cannot
right.
look at horror movie. I get so scared.
Sure.
So I even with a pillow, forget it. I don't want to look at
I'll give you an
horror.
example. So there was this older woman, I think in her maybe 70s, and every time I saw her here in the center,
Yeah,
she was always begging for money.
yeah.
And at times I would give her money, or at times I would give her
I
a
always do
soup,
that.
you know. But there was one time where she was crying like a baby and she was wailing, and just I can only imagine maybe if she was hungry or she was lonely, or and I had so much empathy that it's as if I became that woman where I felt like I was now the homeless one and I
Yeah,
carried on all her stuff in a very unhealthy way. And I remember calling my
yeah,
friend later just to kind of talk about it because I
yeah.
couldn't bear the feelings. I thought now all of a sudden I became that person.
The energy was stuck
The
on you.
energy was stuck in me.
Yeah, that's how what happens if they have some strong energy, they can actually take it on to you.
Sure.
So
So the goal for this conversation that I'm having with you is
yeah,
I want to be able to send a message across to those people that are experiencing something like this. First and foremost, to know that they're not alone.
mm, yeah,
That's the first thing that I want to establish is that people that are experiencing these hypersensitive
mm,
feelings to know that they're not alone
no, just Google it.
in their experience.
Yeah, Google it. It's a lot of people out there.
The second thing I want to talk about, Anita, is I want you to tell me about your experience the night after you left prison. Not you, but you were
Yeah.
visiting your friend in prison. And I remember I was spending time with you. Tell me about the amount of feelings that you were feeling, and just maybe try to go into detail with what you were experiencing.
The energy is of course very heavy, heavy, heavy. It's like the energy inside the prison, the walls. You don't. I didn't see so many other people than him because we were alone. But they opened up the doors and the energy. I'm very sensitive to energy. It's a lot of frustration and pain and sadness, of course,
Mm,
anger, and so it was. I was tired, and
yeah.
you could see that
Well,
I was very tired.
take me through the whole process of what you went through.
Well, it was a lot of lines to
But
come in.
by the way, what's the name of the prison?
There's La Picota prison,
La Picota
La
prison.
Picota, the new
Okay. And
prison.
you mentioned something that it's one of the worst in the world?
No, the Modello is one of the worst.
Okay.
But La Picota have a new prison built, a new section. There, that's where he sits. So that's not that's the best place to sit.
Mm,
Uh, in, but it was a lot of women. It was the Women's Day. Is Saturday is women allowed, women and children.
mm,
So it was many children with their moms visiting maybe their dads. It was so nice but sad in a way. Like they have to visit their father in prison. Oof. And all these women, hundreds of women going in,
mm,
standing in line first for buying some food for their men, and then a new line to come in. It took many hours.
mm.
So I had to go up to the director, up to the prison and director, and have an interview to come in because I was not on the list and blah blah blah. But eventually I got in, and we were so happy to see each other. He was so happy
How
to see
much time
me.
did you spend with him?
I spent maybe 2 3 hours.
Really?
Three
Because that's
hours.
unheard of in the United States.
No, I have like this special from the lawyers and from they I have a special. I can stay for 4 hours per time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to say first before we get into this next segment is first of all, I just want to take a moment and thank God for all the blessings that we have.
Yes.
Maybe we
Thank
could just say
God.
a quick prayer.
Yeah.
God, thank you so much for everything that you've given us in our life. We have abundance in our life. We have so much that we forget every day the gifts that you have given us. So today I want to recognize you, and I want to recognize how much presence you give us and that you never leave us alone. That whenever we're hungry, that you give us something to eat. Whenever we're lonely, you provide for somebody to make us feel less lonely, that you visit us. So God, I just want to thank you for Anita right now. I want to thank you for the gifts of human presence, that at times we feel so alone, but then you provide an amazing grace to provide a friend to travel all the way from Norway to Colombia to visit a man that was lonely for a year in prison. And that you said, whatever we do for your people, that we do for God. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that because
Yeah.
since I was a kid, I was visiting elderly people, and I had no idea the impact that I was giving towards the elderly. I
No.
had no idea. I mean, my parents were like, "Why are you hanging out with elderly people?" My family didn't have the concept of being of service or
Mm.
visiting those that felt lonely. But as a kid, I felt and knew, how is it possible for this elderly people to be in a house alone with no visitors? Going back to
So sad.
hypersensitivity, I felt so sensitive that I never would have ever wanted to feel that way myself. So it was almost like by me being of service and visiting these people that were isolated, it almost relieved my hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like, yes, there was a toxic part of me trying to fix it, which I've been a fixer since I was a little child,
Mm.
because I didn't have a safe place for me to feel accepted, validated, and loved, and
Yeah.
and I don't blame that on my exterior.
No.
Everybody did the best of their ability to provide what they could with what they knew at the time.
Yeah.
But this is where I think the gift of people that have hypersensitivity, they
Y-
feel so much empathy
Mm.
that they go and take action,
Yes.
especially to those that don't feel hypersensitivity. They just think, oh, that must suck to go through something like that.
Yeah.
But they don't have that urgency to be able to say, wow, this person must be suffering. Why don't I do something about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah. I get stressed if I don't get in time for the older. I have an old man, 82 years old, a family, and he is very in need of help. And I've been everything for him for the last 3 years. And if I don't have the time or something, if I'm late for him for getting going to him, I get stressed. I get so stressed, and just punishing myself like for come on like. And when I do, like helping him, being in service for him, like I do everything. Like I said, not everything, but almost everything. Then after I have done that, I feel like more chill, like
Relieved.
relieved.
There's two parts in
Yeah,
that I want to
yeah,
share with you.
yeah.
First of all, when God said, I don't want to make this podcast about religion, people have all sorts of different religions, but this is an example that I'm using from my experience and what I've learned from the Bible.
Yeah.
God said, what you do for my people, you do for me.
Yes.
Every time you visited the sick, the lonely, you
Yeah.
fed the hungry, you're not only doing it for him, but God is giving you the grace to have this a peace that you can't even imagine.
Yeah, I know. And I love it.
And
I
and
get
I
so happy because I feel so blessed by God.
sure
I'm
you
oh,
are actually being blessed.
yes.
It's not only that you feel blessed, you're actually being blessed by God because he said, "For what you do for my people, you do for me." And I
Yes.
remember I had this little paper when I was a kid and I wrote it
Yeah.
down. I said, okay, well, if I do all these things, I'm doing it for God. And then also I'm being blessed. So I always had it in my pocket. And I said, visit the sick. And then you know what I would
Oh
do?
yeah.
I would go to the hospital in my local town in California.
Yeah.
And people were like, you can't be here. I'm like, but I'm visiting the sick. Like, you need a badge, you need an ID,
Yeah.
right? I was
Yeah.
just going all
Oh
over.
my God.
So I remember
That's
every
cute.
time I left visiting the elderly when I was a kid, and still do, I felt the same experience that you had. I felt light. I
Release.
felt I felt a sense of the things in the world are not so important, but the connections are.
Yes. If everybody was this way, like you and me, if everybody could be like this, it would be peace in the
But
world.
just, you said something so powerful, Anita.
Mm.
If everyone could be just like me and you, and I'm not saying we're better than anyone else.
No.
I'm saying that we have hypersensitivity, which leads us to empathy, which leads us to take action.
Yes.
And what if everyone else in the world had that special
It's
sensitivity?
yeah.
When I'm in Colombia,
Wow.
I
That would
see
be
I see so many
paradise.
people hungry. I mean, just imagine the amount of money that's resourced throughout the world to be able to take a percentage of that and to divide that to those that are hungry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an experience that I had the other day, and
Yeah.
then I want you to tell me about your experience with what led you to want to visit your friend in prison, which is exactly what we're talking about:
Yeah.
being of service, being blessed, and understanding that there are people in the world that are suffering. And here we are, we have abundance, and God is asking us to share that abundance.
Yes.
2 days ago, I was waiting for a bank transfer to hit my account. And I rarely am ever in this position. But it was 4th of July in the States. And I needed until Monday for the funds to hit my account. And it was Saturday. And I had absolutely no money. And just imagine, I realized I had no money for 2 days. And I go to the store and I had exactly 10,000 pesos, which equals $2.50 in the United States. But 10,000 pesos in Colombia, that could get you like a full meal. So I go to the grocery store and I'm asking around, hey, what can 10,000 pesos get me? He said, oh, you can go get that sandwich over there. And I noticed that because I was hungry, as we get hungry, we get stressed, we get impatient, we start maybe talking a little bit, not disrespectfully, but we become short with the people that are trying to help us, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine just me realizing I had no money for 2 days and people live like this every single day.
Yeah.
The people that asked me for coins in the streets, and I was constantly denying them because sometimes I don't like to give money because I don't know exactly what they're going to be spending it on. But a lot of the times I feel so privileged that when people approach me, I just kind of deny them. And that reminder was a gift from God. And God told me, Robbie, I want you to remember the gifts that you have in your life. You're
Yes.
able to eat, you're able to have
Yes.
the bare necessities every single day. You have abundance. You can go back and forth to California whenever you want. People in Colombia have never even left their country.
No. Many. No.
People in Colombia have never, ever actually been on an airplane.
No.
So
Oof.
while I'm thinking about it, Anita, is every morning I wake up, I get on my knees and I ask God I tell God, thank you for the blessings.
That's so nice of
And every night before I go to bed, I get on my knees and I say, God, I am so grateful And do you know what gratitude does? Something miraculous. Gratitude to me is the ultimate solution to remove any type of spiritual, emotional, or mental pain.
Yes. You get
Think about it.
more lighter, brighter
Yeah.
days.
I was talking to my friend the other day and I was telling her, hey, I have 5 fingers. And she's like, wow, I do too. I mean, just imagine that we have 5 fingers and we're able to grab things.
Yeah.
And we have 2 feet where we have the ability to walk wherever we want.
Yeah.
So I want you to share with me, what are you grateful for? And at the same time, tell me the feeling that you got by visiting your friend in prison.
I am grateful for when my children are okay, when they are healthy, happy, and they are just living normal, steady lives. I am so happy for my mom still alive. She's have a Alzheimer, the dementia, and serious. So happy for her remembering me still. She forgot me 3 times, but she remembered me. She never called me anymore. She called me every day. All my life, she have called me. And then some years ago, she stopped calling me. So when she calls me, it's my father pressing the number, of course, and just giving her the and say talk. I know him.
That must be so
Yeah,
hard.
it's very sad, but I'm so happy that she's still here and she still remember me partially. That is, and then I make memories with her. I took her. She played this like this. What is it called? Accordion.
Hmm.
And she remember all songs she could be. She got this accordion when she was like 4 or 5 years. She remember all of the songs still, even she don't remember things. She don't remember to eat and stuff. And I took her on this tour in these elderly home centers, 2 centers. They had this big party, year party, and she was like the musician coming up. She was an artist. I presented her as, so everyone was applauding, and she felt so good while sitting there and playing. And that is my way of creating memories that I can think of when
Wow.
she's gone. Because she will forget what she did, but for me, it's so important to just do something.
Wow. That's amazing. So, how
Yeah.
do you get to the point where you have, how do you get to the point, Anita, where you have a trial and a tribulation in your life and you somehow still are able to see the positive side of it? Because here I am talking to you,
Yeah.
and having Alzheimer's, for your mother having Alzheimer's, that's so difficult.
Yes. I have been through that process, but I'm so strong now.
Yeah, and how are you able to see it on the other side? Because most people, I think, in the world today, especially me, we have this victim mindset.
Yes.
And I remember the majority of my life, I was stuck in this victim mindset. Everything was done to me. Everybody's doing everything to me.
Yeah.
Everybody's causing me to feel the way I'm feeling. And then suddenly I woke up and I said, oh my gosh, I'm the one causing me everything. Nobody's doing anything to
No,
me. I'm the
you can be
one.
your worst enemy.
I used to criticize, point the finger, blame, shift,
Yeah.
accuse,
Yeah.
but because I was the one doing those things to me.
Yeah.
I had the victim mindset and I was actually in my own prison in a
Yeah.
way. And I had no idea how to get out of this prison cell emotionally and mentally.
No.
The solution was to finally stop pointing the finger.
But how do you stop? I can tell you how I stopped.
Please do.
I was experiencing I had a very dark period of my life, and I was so down, depressed in the basement, whatever you can call it. For as every breath was so painful in my chest. I was actually thinking, how can I breathe lighter so it's not so much pain? How? And I was just laying. I could not stand up from the couch, from the bed. I did minimal of things. I was in the basement for as long as the time that eventually, um, by by being there, it was like it was I was like done having this depression that was like overwhelming. It was so painful every minute. I just wanted to sleep, but when I was not sleeping, uh, it was overwhelming, the pain. But after a while, I think like the brain wants to move on. I think the body, the mind, the mindset, everything wants to move on. I don't know how that
Are
process,
you
but
talking
it was
about the
like
grieving period?
the grieving,
Yeah.
the anxiety grieving. It was so slowly,
Mm.
like coming back.
Yeah.
But in that period, in that process, I started to think about the real values, the things that is really important and
Mm.
worth something in this life.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Wow.
I became totally different when I climbed with small steps some years up. When I was up again, I was totally different than other people.
Mm.
I just see values and I see everything in another light. It's totally
Yeah,
different.
absolutely. I can relate with you in so many
Wow.
ways.
And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why are they just reacting that way when someone take their bus seat? There's a lot of seats, and a girl comes in, and someone sits on the wrong, on her seat, and she gets so mad.
Well, it's because she has the victim mindset.
Oh my God.
But
And
we were also there. I was
yes,
there.
yes.
And as much as
And
I
I'm not a
was
judge. I will
right.
never judge anyone.
No, absolutely. I mean, I
No,
think that we can judge people's
I
actions.
just think it's weird.
I think there's a difference. Most people think this, oh, I can't judge people. I mean, I judge people all day. I have no control
Well,
of it.
I
My
am not a
mind judges
judge.
people,
I don't.
right? But I think there's a difference. We can judge people's actions. I can judge my actions. I can judge other people's actions. I just can't
Mm,
judge their soul and I can't judge where they're
no.
going in life.
No, they can do, yes, of course they can do bad things, but if you think like this, that okay, they did something wrong, but I am not the judge.
Right.
Someone else have that job.
Yeah. And
God is.
I think there is a difference between the seeing the other person rage over the person taking their seat and knowing where that person ends and where we begin.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I'm learning in the last few years of my life
Yeah.
is how do I mind my own business?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the one valuable thing that I've learned through my hypersensitivity
Yeah.
is the more that I mind my own business, the better shape I'm going to be.
Yes.
Because my entire life I was so focused on other people's stuff, other people's
Mm.
actions, what they
Mm.
said, and I had
Mm.
very little accountability on what I was doing. And I've
Yeah.
talked about this in other podcasts. I was pointing the finger and three fingers were pointing right back at me.
Mm.
And that's exactly how God sees me.
Yes.
Is that I'm being judged based on how I judge others.
Yes.
And
Karma.
in a way, yeah.
I love Karma. She's the
Yeah, you
best.
love
She's
it.
my best friend. She's my best friend. Yeah.
So tell me,
And you can actually, when someone do something wrong to you or others, you can say this to yourself. And I forgive them. I'm not judging them
Mm,
because they don't know better. They don't know.
wow.
They don't know better.
That is such a hard place to get to.
Mm. Yeah.
When, because if we really know that most people what they say and do is only a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
Mm.
So actually what's interesting is I used to take things personally a lot, still do.
Yeah.
Working on it. But now when people do things, I feel so sad for them because now I know how they feel about themselves.
Yeah. Imagine how they feel inside.
To be able to rage or
Oh.
to say a word that's
Yeah.
because I used to be there and I still
Because
am.
to be very angry is a
Yeah.
terrible feeling. It's so toxic inside the body.
Absolutely.
It's like, oof.
Have you ever been at a point where somebody said something and you just wanted to really
Yeah.
give them that?
Yes.
I mean, we have the ability.
Before that period where I learned a lot.
Mm,
Through pain, I learned a lot. Before that, I was like everybody else.
yeah,
Of course,
I was too. Still am. It still comes
I
up.
was like, if
I'm
someone
human.
said "fuck you," I said, well, I
Yeah.
said it to them.
Yeah. I think a tool that I learned, Anita, in the past was whenever I feel triggered and I feel like I want to react or say something back,
Yeah.
I always count to 5
Hmm.
really slow.
Hmm.
And I go 5, 4, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. I'm so sorry you feel the way you do, and I hope you have a nice day.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I don't think the way you do. That's the way you think.
Hmm.
That's not the way I think.
Hmm.
Another one that's very beautiful is replying, that's below my standard for a response. I mean, just imagine if somebody were to say all these things to you and you were to just reply in a very calm way and say, that's below my standard for a response.
Hmm. Well,
And allow them to keep raging because
yeah.
here's the thing, we have no control over other people.
No.
And the other thing that I learned was, I see it differently. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But
And
what
when you get angry, when you yell and you scream, I don't take people serious. I'm just
Mm,
looking at it like it's a comic. But if a person is like serious, calm, but angry and
mm,
telling something in like a normal, with a normal voice,
right.
then I listen.
But that's very
Then I
hard to
listen.
do. And so I'm really grateful that you and I have this ability to be exposed to this new awareness. Because
Yes.
just imagine,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. Just imagine, Anita, if somebody is raging at
Yeah.
like 150% and we stay calm.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I never get angry. I never get, "Wah." I
If
just stay
somebody
calm.
if somebody's like, raging at me and telling me all sorts of things, and I just sit and listen and I say, I understand you're hurting. That must be really hard for you.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Hmm. Yes.
Just imagine we can retain our peace. We can maintain our peace
And you can
regardless of what
help
other
them.
people do.
You can help them.
And I think that this is where the transition from, and I talked about this earlier in the podcast,
Mhm.
is that we have hypersensitivity and a lot of the times it's out of balance.
Yeah.
But we really need to sharpen that sword and hone in on how do we create this gift of hypersensitivity.
I make
And
songs.
oh, you do?
Yeah, I make songs for that. I make songs about terror for people for supporting and comforting the victims of from terror, the
Mm,
families left behind. I wrote this song "Animal" that is about it was about the terror in Paris. I wrote a song about the Third World War. I hope it's not coming, but I'm prepared to know. But
mm,
I'm writing songs that has a meaning.
right.
Mm.
That's amazing. Well, we'll play the song on the podcast as
Yeah,
well. I think that would
yeah.
be
Play the
really cool.
animal.
I will.
It's
You'll have to
actually a
send it to me.
dream. After a dream, I really want to say this because I dreamt this woman in coming to me in the dream, and she never got to call and say goodbye to her children. She was shot in Paris when it was like this terror in I don't remember year. And I wake up with this song. She wanted me. She didn't say the word, but she in our minds she said it to me. And I saw her, and then I saw her on the victim list too. It was the woman in that dream. I wake up with this song. It's with full lyrics
Mm.
and melody, and I'm like, oh, "Where's my recorder?
You
Oh
mean
my
you
god,
remember you had it all?
everything!" And I was like, and
Wow.
I'm singing this into the recorder,
That's
and I go and
amazing.
produce it, and then it's like, oh my god, it's her. She and the lyrics, the text is like she didn't get her
Mm.
last phone call home to her children. She had children
Mm.
home. She just wanted to
Wow.
say goodbye.
That's amazing.
It's so sad,
Right.
but I really hope that they will eventually, by maybe a miracle, they will someday they will listen to that
Mm.
song. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. That's kind of
That is beautiful.
yeah.
So I'd like to follow up with this question. You visited your friend in prison,
Yes.
okay? And I have come to believe that no matter what, people still have the dignity of human rights.
Yes.
And you know, the world is so good at pointing the finger and putting a label on people,
Mhm.
like criminal, liar, thief,
Yes.
right? And we're so good at believing what the world tells us. You
Yes.
watch the news all the time. This
Yeah.
person's a criminal, this person's a whatever. And
Yes.
then in our minds, we've created this idea of what people tell us who people are.
Yes. Never
But
do that.
somehow we're not willing to look past
Hmm.
sometimes people's choices because we don't
Maybe
know.
some are innocent. Maybe
Yeah.
the people are
And
innocent.
most of the time they are. And
Yes.
this is where I think that a lot of the times we have to really be careful on what our brain transforms into different ideas, into
Yeah, and
different
what
beliefs.
comes out of that mouth,
Exactly.
because
And
people talk too much.
that's why I think they say be careful to give your coins to the swine. Have you heard of that?
Yes, and put the pearls for the pigs.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
do not give your perils to the swine.
Yeah, don't throw your pearls.
Sure. And I used to
yes.
do that a lot and still do. I'm working on that. I'm an
Yeah.
over talker. I'm an over explainer. I share a lot of things about my
You
life
have a
with people.
podcast, so that's
Right.
good.
Yeah, no, it is a good thing. But there
Yeah.
are people that I meet that just don't have the right to know a lot of things about my life.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I think rumors are
Yeah.
very devastating.
Very.
A lot of the times people have a thick tongue in a way to be able to, especially narcissistic people,
Yeah.
they do something called a smear campaign.
Yeah.
And this smear campaign is shared with a lot of people that they love to ruin their reputation so that this person can be isolated.
Yeah.
So the message that I want to share is that we have to be careful on the information that is shared with us. And we can't just believe everything that is shared. We have to be able to be wise and to know, yeah, but what are the facts?
Yeah.
What are the facts?
What are the facts, and are they convicted in something? Are they, it's I know from my own personal experience, some things are just like so unfair, and people just judge, and they don't know, they just think, and you have to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Before you judge,
Exactly.
before you are so sure that this person is like this and that, because maybe it's not true. Maybe because you're not until you are judged, you are not what's it called? Not innocent, but
Right. Yeah. Proven until, or innocent until proven guilty.
Guilty. Yeah,
Right.
innocent until proven guilty. Yes.
Yeah. And that's important. And I think I
Yes,
really
it's
wanted to
very
talk about
important.
that on this podcast, is because a lot of the times are so willing to believe YouTube videos, the media, the news. And somehow we feel better about ourselves because other people are convicted,
Yes.
and we judge based on, oh well, I'm not like that.
People love to see other tragedies.
Right. Oh, I'm not. Oh, at least I'm not like that.
Yeah. Some people.
And this is
are like,
also another dangerous thing, to compare ourselves to other people. I mean, there are days where I compare myself to somebody that's maybe not so good looking, and I say, well, at least I'm a little bit better looking. Or then
you
it
do
goes.
that?
No, I mean, I used to in the past.
Yeah, in the past.
To make myself feel
In the
better,
past,
I used to either
yeah.
compare myself to somebody who had a worse situation, or I would feel bad with somebody that had a better situation. And I was constantly living both worlds, right?
This is bad.
So like, even if somebody was
living.
super good looking in the
Yeah.
past, I'd be like, oh, I'm not, I
Yeah.
have a crooked nose and I'm not this person. And then all of a sudden I'm putting this person on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And they probably have a way worse life than I do. They probably have way more insecurities than I do. And here I am judging the person based on just what I see.
It's like the tunnel sight, or the focus is very limited.
So we talked about everybody having the dignity to still have, to still be a human, to still be visited in prison,
Yes,
But we also have the choice to remove people out of our life as well.
of course.
And that's where I think hypersensitivity is so and I'll allow you to speak. I know I'm oversharing right now.
You're
Um,
over,
I'm
but you're
yeah, because I'm
hypersensitive.
hypersensitive too. But I will leave it. I'll let you share in just a second. One thing I want to say is that this is the dangers of hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
We feel like we should visiting everybody, even though we still need to understand there's a balance and say, no, I can cut people out of my life too when I know it's harming me.
Yes. But I can do that. But then I feel bad after a while.
Right.
I get,
But
I
that's
get so bad conscience.
it's like when we say no, we feel
It's,
so
I'm,
ashamed.
I could punish
All of a
myself.
sudden we call that person, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said
Yeah.
no, like
Okay,
please
I can
forgive me.
come.
And but here's the thing, there are people in the world that are wolves in sheep clothing that
Yeah.
take advantage of people like
Yeah.
us.
Psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists.
Imagine
Yeah.
if you said no and you set a boundary with somebody, and then all of a sudden an hour later you call them and apologize, which obviously there's nothing for you to apologize by
No.
setting that boundary, but
No.
now they realize what kind of person you are.
Yes. And they can draw you from everything you have.
And they
They-
prey on people like that and say, oh, yeah,
yeah.
no, it's okay. Don't worry. So, yeah, let's do this and this, right? So, with people with hypersensitivity, we have to learn to be able to set boundaries, to be able to say no and walk away, to be able to know that we can't save everybody.
No.
The only person we have control over is ourselves. The only person that we have control over is to save us first. They say on the airplane, put on the mask on yourself first
Yeah.
before you help your child.
Yeah.
So,
Word.
Nita, if anything, I'd like for us to take away that, first of all, you're a very unique person in the world.
Thank you.
I
Thank you the
want,
same.
thank you. And I also want to say, you're doing special work in the world that most people are not willing to do.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being a small percentage of the hypersensitivity group, because you are reaching out and you're visiting people in prison. You're supporting people, you're reaching out to people like me. You shared words with me that I don't think you'll realize. I'm going to take that away, and I'm going to remember the words that you shared with me over coffee,
Yeah.
because I'll never forget how you made me feel.
Yeah.
Loved, validated,
Oh.
listen, you made me feel like I was heard. And you shared a few things that was a part of my healing path that I really needed to hear about my situation.
Mm.
And I went back home calling my mom thinking, wow, I can't believe I met this person. And she shared just a few words that I realized it was a necessary piece to the puzzle that I needed to know.
Yeah.
And that was for me to stay patient, to be in the background, to remove myself from relationships that don't need to be there. And so I want to thank you for being hypersensitive and to learn, and that you're learning about it as well.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for these nice, good words. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
you make my day. Now you make my day. When I made your day over the
Yeah.
coffee, you make my day
Well,
now.
you deserve to,
Thank
you
you.
deserve
Thank
to,
God for
you really deserve to feel loved. Because what I
yeah.
noticed about you last night when we were taking a walk,
Yeah.
Robbie, I feel drained.
I was so drained. I was so cold. I was so exhausted. It was
Yeah. Yeah,
like it was
and
10
I
minus
saw it, and I
degrees.
saw that, and I said, Anita, you've been giving yourself to others. It's time for you to start taking care of
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, you're
I said,
right.
go home to rest in bed, have a nice shower, drink some tea, and remember that you are loved. And that you don't need to you don't need to keep filling other people's cup for you to get ounces.
No.
And like, oh, I'm filling their cup. That means we talked about it earlier. We go because we're hypersensitive. So if we visit and make people feel comfortable, then maybe we're fixing our pain too. But that should never be the answer.
No.
The answer is for us to fill our cup first and foremost,
Yeah.
and then go out
Yeah.
and remain our cup full,
Mm.
and then go out, and then fill our cup and then go out.
Yeah.
But not to keep our cup empty and trying to get,
But
pieces and crumbs from people that we know it's just going to be temporary.
But I feel worthless with that if I don't do anything for anyone. And I feel my days is not with no purpose, it's no
Right.
values. Even I try to do something for myself, but no, I cannot. I can make songs and I paint.
Yeah,
I have a lot of paintings. I paint pictures,
sure.
art. But and when I help people, it's not for me feeling like, well, then it will be a better day for me. I just do it like automatically,
Yeah.
like with no purpose.
But
I just do it.
it's a practice, Anita. One thing that helped me in the past was I needed to learn to rewire my brain from the old way of thinking to the new way of thinking.
Yeah.
Imagine if you do a sport and in the beginning it's really hard. But after a year, all of a sudden you're really good at it.
Yeah.
Your brain goes to just like this natural way of thinking of like hitting the gym and you know what to do. This is exactly the example that I'd like. If you don't mind, can I give you a suggestion?
Yes.
My suggestion for you is that you do something nice for you once a day. It could be very small.
Okay.
My suggestion for you is that you say no at least once a day
Oh. Okay.
and you stick with it.
Okay.
Say no once a day. Now, it could be no, or in the beginning, you could try something. You know what? Let me think about that and I'll get back to you because I know it's very hard to
Mm.
say no.
Yeah.
So maybe you could replace it with, let me think about it and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And then
It's
later
better.
you could tell them and say, you know what? I thought about it. It's not going to work for me.
Hmm.
But
I try.
that once a day is going to help you to rewire your brain. It's going to help you to practice to prioritize yourself first over other people. I had a situation yesterday
Yeah.
where a friend asked me, "Hey, can you do something for me? Can you do this?" I said, "You know, no, that's not really my thing. No thanks." And then they went back and said, "Oh, but you could do this." I said, "Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's still not going to work because other people are still going to try to overstep your boundaries
Yes.
and still try to get a yes out of you."
Mm.
So I think going forward, Anita, if you prioritize yourself and you do something once a day, like singing or making art, you're going to realize that you're worth it and your priority over yourself is going to be your answer to be able to have your cup full constantly.
Yeah. But even the singing, even the songs, is for others.
Yeah,
Even
right. There you
so,
go.
I have a problem.
Sure.
The only thing I'm actually when I'm thinking of it is the paintings.
Mm.
Is that is when I because when I'm so hyper in a
Hmm.
way, I cannot sit like and look at the television, sit for quiet for a long time.
Right.
And then I found the method. I just start to paint pictures, because then I can sit paint pictures and I can look at the television. So that is just a trick to sit calm in the couch.
That's amazing. How do you identify when someone is emotionally unsafe?
Emotionally unsafe. How I identify it is when if I see it, if I catch up with it,
Hmm.
and how I see it. Wow. Um, how I see it.
Yeah, you're hypersensitive, so you have the superpower,
Yeah,
right?
but then I need to be close to people.
Sure, but if you identify if somebody's emotionally unsafe, what do you do?
Unstable or
Yeah, do you stick with them? Do you because
oh, you mean like
with
that? I
hypersensitive people, if
mm?
we find that somebody to be emotionally unsafe, somehow we cling to them still.
No, I don't. I am trying to help. I have some people that's like emotionally unstable, as I call it, and I'm trying to just put in some advice, some help, some good words, some compliments, some just trying to make them feel better. But I don't keep them close, no,
Mm,
because they are draining my energy. They are sucking every energy
right, right.
drop
So
out of me.
you know how to walk away then.
I don't walk away, but I don't keep them close. No,
Yeah,
it's a difference between just because then it's worse for them.
right.
And now I don't talk about now. I don't mean I of course I have people that I don't see anymore because they were.
There were psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, because there's a lot of percent in the world that is
that
like
we
that.
shouldn't be
And I am
around.
like a,
Right.
I am like a glue for people like that.
Sure. And
Yeah,
that's what I was mentioning
it's
before.
very
You say
weird.
no, and then you call, and then you apologize, and these
Yeah,
psychopaths are now preying on people like
they're
you.
eating up my
So
energy.
so the point is that we need to know when to walk away from people that are not
They're not,
they're
yeah,
not
but
going to
it all
benefit us.
depends who it is, you
Right,
know.
right.
So someone that is in a like a bad place, a difficult state, I cannot leave them.
Sure. Well, Anita, I really enjoyed this podcast.
I loved
Do you have
it.
any suggestions for me on how I can improve?
No, I love
Perfect.
you the way you are.
Awesome. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
I think you're totally worth it. And I'm really grateful for you. And I hope that you continue to enjoy your path here in Colombia. And thank you for being
Yeah.
of service to the people that really need it.
I will move here now. This will be
Awesome.
my new country. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we could go to coffee then.
Yes, a lot.
All right.
We
Well,
can go to coffee now.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, guys, it's been a beautiful podcast here with my friend Anita. You guys have learned about hypersensitivity. You've learned that the idea is not so much to fill other people's cup, but to fill your cup first and foremost. And by filling your cup, you have the ability to go out and provide that energy, to give the peace that you have, to give the serenity to the people that you encounter every day. So the goal is really to impact people's lives one person at a time by keeping your cup full, to say no when necessary, to know when to walk away when somebody's not benefiting or helping you grow. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you I hope you subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Nice.